The human brain is the most powerful survival tool ever created. It can solve complex problems, react in milliseconds, and keep us alive in life or death situations. But under extreme pressure, fear, stress, panic, that same brain can make choices that turn deadly. Pilots crash perfectly working planes, soldiers fire at shadows, drivers hit the accelerator instead of the brake. And in the aftermath, one question always remains. What were they thinking? Stay with me, because today we explore how pressure rewires the human brain and how ordinary people make fatal decisions in extraordinary moments. We like to believe we are rational, that when danger strikes, we'll stay calm, think clearly, make the right decision. But neuroscience tells a different story. Under pressure, the brain shifts into survival mode, logic shuts down, instinct takes over. And sometimes, instinct is wrong. Today we'll uncover real events, psychological science, and shocking truths about how pressure can turn the human brain into its own worst enemy. Part 1. Fight, flight, or freeze. When faced with danger, the brain activates the survival response. Fight, flight, or freeze. This reaction comes from the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. It bypasses rational thinking to act instantly. That's why people jump away from snakes before realizing it's a stick. Why someone slams the brakes at a shadow. But in high-stakes situations, this rapid response can be deadly. Freezing in a fire, running into traffic, attacking someone who meant no harm. The brain is trying to save you. But speed comes at the cost of accuracy. Part 2. When pilots panic, airline pilots are among the most highly trained professionals in the world. Yet history shows that under extreme pressure, even experts make fatal errors. In several aviation disasters, investigations revealed a chilling pattern. Pilots became overwhelmed by alarms, ignored simple solutions, fixated on the wrong problem. This is called cognitive tunneling, when stress narrows focus so severely that obvious answers disappear. Instead of solving the real emergency, the brain locks onto one fear and refuses to let go. Seconds matter, and under pressure, the brain wastes them. Part 3. Pedal error, a deadly split. Second, imagine driving down the road when suddenly a child runs into the street. You panic. Your brain screams, "Stop!" But your foot presses the accelerator instead. This phenomenon, known as pedal misapplication, has caused thousands of accidents worldwide. Why does this happen? Under stress, the brain reverts to habit loops. If a driver is used to pressing the accelerator, panic can trigger the wrong muscle memory. The brain chooses speed over precision, and in a fraction of a second, a tragedy unfolds. Part 4. Why people run into burning buildings. In emergencies, people don't always flee danger. Sometimes they run toward it. During fires, some victims return inside to retrieve belongings. Others hide instead of escaping. This is called normalcy bias, the brain's refusal to accept that disaster is real. It whispers, "This can't be happening. Everything will be fine. I just need one more minute." That minute can be fatal. The brain prefers comfort over reality, even in the face of death.
Part 5. Soldiers and split-second decisions. On the battlefield, hesitation can mean death, but acting too quickly can be just as deadly. Soldiers under pressure must distinguish friend from foe in seconds. History is filled with tragic incidents of friendly fire, not from malice but from fear and confusion. Under extreme stress, vision narrows, hearing fades, time feels distorted, the brain prioritizes survival over accuracy, and sometimes the cost is irreversible. Part 6. What stress does to the brain. Under pressure, the body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Heart rate increases, breathing accelerates, muscles tense. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logic and reasoning, begins to shut down. The brain shifts control to primitive survival systems. This is why intelligent people make irrational decisions under stress. It's not stupidity, it's biology. Your brain isn't failing. It's reverting to ancient programming designed for a different world. Part 7. Crowd panic. When fear becomes contagious. In crowded disasters, panic spreads faster than fire. Stampedes in stadiums, concerts, and religious gatherings have killed thousands. Often there is no real threat, just perceived danger. One person runs, others follow. Fear multiplies. The brain mirrors the crowd instead of analyzing the situation. In groups, individual thinking disappears, and survival becomes a chaotic race where the strongest, not the wisest, prevail. Part 8. The Milgram experiment. Obedience under pressure. In the 1960s, psychologist Stanley Milgram conducted a shocking experiment. Participants were instructed to deliver electric shocks to another person for wrong answers. They believed the shocks were real. Despite hearing screams, many continued, simply because an authority figure told them to. The experiment revealed a terrifying truth. Under pressure and authority, ordinary people can commit harmful acts they would never consider otherwise, not because they are evil, but because the brain seeks approval and avoids conflict. Part 9. When technology increases pressure. Modern life bombards the brain with constant alerts, deadlines, and decisions. Notifications, traffic, work stress, social pressure. The brain was never designed for non-stop urgency. Chronic pressure leads to decision fatigue, where the brain becomes overwhelmed and begins making poor choices. From road rage to workplace mistakes, the modern world is quietly pushing the brain beyond its limits. Part 10. Can we train the brain to survive pressure? The good news? The brain can be trained. Pilots use simulators to rehearse emergencies. Firefighters drill until responses become automatic. Soldiers train under stress to build resilience. Techniques like controlled breathing, situational awareness, and mental rehearsal help keep the prefrontal cortex active. The goal is simple: slow the brain down. The human brain is extraordinary. It can create art, build civilizations, and explore the universe. But under pressure, it can also misfire, turning survival instincts into deadly mistakes. The shocking truth isn't that people make fatal decisions. It's that anyone can. Because in the right or wrong moment, fear can override logic. Understanding this doesn't make us weak. It makes us prepared. And preparation is what turns panic into survival. If this video made you think differently about your own reactions under stress, comment below. Have you ever made a decision under pressure that you later regretted? Like, subscribe and stay aware, because sometimes the greatest danger isn't the situation, it's how our brain responds to it. Taking a moment to pause can save you from regret. Awareness is the first step toward better choices under pressure. Next time you feel overwhelmed, breathe, think, and act consciously. Your mind can be your greatest ally if you train it right.